I'm with middleweight prospect Andre Petroski, fresh off the Ultimate Fighter 29 first episode, victory, submission win, first win on the Ultimate Fighter in over 3 years. Andre, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Connor?
Good, good, good. Like, what's the last 24 hours been like for you too? Because you're one of the top picks for the teams. You end up going on Ortega's team too, and then you get that win. Submission victory too. Couldn't have gone much better. So what's it kind of been like? Is your phone been blowing up or?
Yeah, for sure. And I still have unanswered messages, which I'm gonna get to. I promise.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean it's a lot. Just trying to stay on an even keel, and not get too high or too low. You know what I mean? That's kind of fighting in general.
Yeah.
But it's been cool. Like we had a watch party at Name Your Sport last night, and a bunch of people came out to support, which has been awesome. The support has been overwhelming.
Yeah. That's really cool. And you talk about the watch party and stuff like that, any relief now? Were you kind of just because I'm sure you knew that you were going to be on that first episode. So were you just kind of anxious for people to actually see part of you on Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a little bit anxious because you don't know what they're gonna show, and there's always behind the scenes footage of in the house, and you don't really know you can only be on watch your P's and Q's for so long for
Yeah.
a month and a half.
Yeah. 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 Because I know when they were kind of promoting the rest of the season, they showed you and it looked like Mitch Raposo kind of yelling at each other. And that broke my heart because I've interviewed Mitch too. And I was like, oh, can't we all just get along? But we don't have to go into that.
You're gonna have to tune in to find out more.
Yeah, for sure. But let's talk about the episode last night. You fought Aaron Phillips too. It sounded like
Yeah.
to the coaches that was the fight they wanted for you too. Was that a guy that obviously I'm sure you were willing to fight anybody in there, but was that a guy that you looked at and you're like, oh, that's a guy I hope I can mix it up with earlier on, or what was kind of your feeling when you found out about that fight?
So that was the second time I asked for that fight. The first time I asked for the fight was for CFFC. I watched him fight Huck Body for that title, and I texted my coaches. I said, "Let me get the winner," and Huck Body won, and they gave it to Aaron Jeffrey. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that fight, and then when we were on the show, they kind of asked me. I was like 100%, give it to me. I've tried to get it before.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, how it worked out like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And did you expect to I know you're very confident in yourself too, but did you expect to get picked as quick as you did?
Well, originally I thought I was going to get picked on Team Volk because his wrestling coach was my teammate at Bloomsburg.
Oh, wow.
So we had that personal connection. But I did have a good connection with Paul Herrera, who was Ortega's coach. We kind of hit it off from the beginning. And I knew that he expressed that he believed in me and he believed in everything. So I was a little surprised, but it was still cool. Even if you were expecting it or not, it is an overwhelming, compliment.
For sure. Yeah. And then of course they showed the clip where I think it was Team Ortega was kind of asking do you want to be on this team? And you said yes. Why Ortega? Why'd you favor that side over Volkanovski's? Or were you just on the spot maybe too?
Honestly, at the time, I was definitely kind of put on the spot. And at the time, I was really vibing with Coach Paul. And so, I kind of was just feeling it. But looking back, I mean, those, Volk's team's cool and all, but, I'm glad it worked out because I know, it sounds corny, but, it was definitely meant to be. Those guys, definitely, I was meant to be on their team for sure. All those dudes, especially Henner. I got so much one-on-one time with Henner Gracie, and it was just a tremendous experience.
Yeah. I mean, that situation too. I mean, Team Ortega Volkanovski. I mean, to me, as someone on the outside, doesn't seem like you could really go wrong with either. Too.
Right,
There's just so much experience in that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of just figured that Volk would pick me up first because I had wrestled with Frank in college.
Yeah. You didn't take
But
that like personally at all, did you?
nah. And I don't think that it was like really Frank's call.
Yeah.
Obviously, their coaches. I don't think that their coaches did as much homework leading up to it as Ortega's coaches.
Yeah. And now
I
you,
mean,
oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, I know you fought on LFA, so you've been on like UFC Fight Pass, that kind of thing. But what was it like especially like a watch party, like just like watching yourself like on like TV?
I mean, it's cool, man. I'm a self-absorbed athlete, admittedly. So like, I like watching myself up on the TV, and I'll admit to that. It's cool, man. I put a lot of I worked really hard, man. I put a lot of work into this sport. So to see it like it pay off, even if it's small rewards at a time, it helps for sure. It motivates me to work even harder.
Yeah. I know before we start recording too, you kind of were talking about like the process of like the Ultimate Fighter and everything like that. But for you too, like, what was this whole thing like too? And did you expect it to? Because I know you were coming off that first professional loss. Like when you were kind of like trying out with this, like I mean, I'm sure if you're trying out, you have a chance of making it. But like, how confident were you that you were gonna actually make it onto the show?
Oh man, there was a couple guys that they had brought out for the quarantine process. They brought out like 3 alternates at each weight, and I was just like, dude, I would be sick if I came out here for this quarantine and then they didn't put me on the show. But I don't know, man. I talked to the producers like months and months ago, and they seemed really interested. They seemed like they really liked me, and we vibed. I got along with a lot of them, and I had like that high level fight for LFA that they,
Yep.
which helped my cause, and I felt confident that, compared to a lot of the other guys, that like I liked where I stood, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it ended up like working out great too, especially after watching last night's episode too. But like, cause I know even Aaron Jeffrey right now too. I think he's in Vegas hoping to get like a spot
Yeah.
in the UFC. So it's pretty crazy how it works.
Yeah, Aaron actually, when he fought Huckbody in Philly, actually came into my gym and used my gym. Um, I'll get that fight back one day.
Yeah. Hey,
But
did you
they're
guys
good
like?
people, especially him and his coaches. They're all good people.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna say, did you get to like talk to him like at all? Like how much you actually
yeah,
get to talk to him like when he did come to the gym?
yeah. He's cool, man. I think that they were really expecting to get signed after that fight with Huckbody. Ultimate Fighter. So, man, I just can't imagine like turning down the Ultimate Fighter. Not that's what he did, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine he could have got on if he wanted to. Maybe because he's from Canada.
Yeah, who knows? But like you said, it's kind of like a foot in the door. Why wouldn't you take that? But
Right.
it seemed like on the show too, like your team, especially in the beginning stages, you were kind of clicking pretty well too. They were showing that clip of you guys kind of showing pictures of your kids and things like that, which is cool. But what
Yeah.
was like the atmosphere of like living in the house? Because I'm sure you've watched the show, but like how did that kind of compare to like what it actually is?
I loved it. Honestly, it was like not many distractions. It was like you wake up and you have one job. It's like eat, breathe, and just train fighting all day. So I loved it. I mean, it was like a simple life. Obviously, I miss my family, but
Yeah.
it was a tremendous experience for sure. I mean, I've done countless training camps and wrestling camps, and I've gone away for long periods of time in the summer, but this was definitely like, I mean, we basically, you get first class service 24/7.
Yeah.
So we were very lucky.
Yeah. Is there one guy in the house that you felt like maybe you hit it off more with him than like anybody else?
I don't like to pick favorites here, but there was definitely we had like our front row crew in the van rides. We all wore bandanas. We're the bandana bandits. And, it was you're gonna have to tune in to watch.
All
For
right,
sure.
yeah.
I don't want to give you too much, but yeah, no doubt. Like, I mean, I would consider some of those guys like definitely friends for life now.
Yeah, for sure. And we already talked about like that like LFA fight, but a year ago, like, did you ever see yourself in this kind of like situation?
Um, Honestly, I have to say yes. For the first off, because I always knew that like this format would be a very good format for me. I'm especially being a wrestler, like I'm used to competing very often and frequently.
Yeah.
And I knew that like, if you put me in a house with a bunch of guys and our only job is training, that I could focus and get a lot of job done. And yeah, I don't know. I liked the opportunity for sure. And I thought that it definitely was in my favor.
Yeah. What has like been? I know we talked about kind of what the last like 24 hours have been, but like, what's it been like on like social media too? I mean, are you getting like a lot more followers now, like a bigger fan base because of last night?
Yeah, for sure. I think honestly, I kind of just been waiting for the dust to settle before I like check it out.
Yeah,
But I think like I don't know. I think it went from like maybe another 1,000 or something.
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cool too because they were showing the clips of like your past fights, and one of my colleagues, Bob Maloney, you could hear his voice in the background. I think if you actually look closely too, you
Yes.
can actually see him like cage side in one of the clips too.
That's funny. Bob Maloney is the mailman in the neighborhood over, and I'm like, come on, dude! Like you can't just get one more street over. But we love Bob. He gave us some pickles last year. They were great pickles. We love Bob.
Cool, yeah, yeah, he
Shout
does a
out to
great
Bob
job like
Maloney.
covering local MMA. But yeah, I also saw too that I think he's changing his route. So will he be that close, or maybe that's his new route? I don't know, but that's
You're
for
gonna
another
find out
talk.
and report
Yeah.
back to me.
Yeah, I'll get him on here, and I'll do an interview with him, and then you can watch it. But yeah, Andre, anything else that maybe we didn't touch on? Anything that you want to say?
I don't even know when my next fight will be, but tune in.
All right,
It's gonna
cool.
be a good one.
Yeah, no, I mean it's super exciting too, and I'm sure like even as like I know you're like a fan of the sport too, but it's just cool to see the Ultimate Fighter back too, and it didn't really seem like I mean obviously like the gym changed and things like that, but for the most part it was
All
kind
right.
of the
My
same.
turn. I want to ask questions.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So, from an outsider's perspective, what do you think about the matchup with the teams? Which team do you think is better? And don't tell me Ortega because I'm on Team Ortega.
All right. So I'm not gonna do what you did to Brian on the spot. No, I'm just kidding. Let me think here. 'Cause I'm trying to think of like the roster too. Let me think here. It's hard to say because like honestly, like I'm not even like copping out, but I don't know enough
Yeah.
of the prospects to I think to say like a good answer like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
back it up. Um, because like I recently moved down to Florida, but for the most part, I always like was real into the Northeast because that's where I was from. So
Yeah. There
obviously, like
wasn't many guys from the Northeast.
yeah,
It was like me, Mitch, and then the rest of the guys on the East Coast were North and South Carolina or Florida.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
there was one other. Cameron was uh was from Boston or Connecticut.
yeah.
Do you know Cameron?
No,
Oh man, you're missing out. So go online and watch Cameron, I don't know his last name, versus the dude from AKA, the wrestler. Um you got to go watch this fight.
all right,
Um what is his name? He wrestled at Oklahoma State and now he's at AKA, and they fought for Bellator probably like I want to say like a month or two before we left for the Ultimate Fighter. Oh man, you got to watch this guy. He's crazy.
all right. Yeah, I'll check him out.
Yeah. But besides those, so it was me, Cameron Mitchell, the two guys in North and South Carolina, and Dustin was from Florida. Everyone else was West Coast.
Wow. Well, yeah, I know there was two Extreme Couture guys because they showed that, and I think
Yeah.
they were one was on your team, right? And then I think the other guy was on the other team.
Yeah. So the one guy was on my team, and the other guy was the first pick for. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, for Volk.
Yeah.
Ryder.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel bad, but like I can't even give you like an honest like pick just because like I said I saw you and I saw Mitch. Those are the only two guys I really knew.
Yeah, I think if you look up some of the
And
guys.
Murdoch, I know Murdoch too.
Yeah. Awesome dude. Bandana Bandit.
Yeah.
And if you do some research, you'll be like, oh, I know who this guy is. Like, they picked the guys wisely. You might not recognize them by their names, but once you kind of research a lot of the guys, you'll be like, oh, I know
Yeah.
this guy.
Well, yeah, if I'm gonna be honest too, when you said I didn't know this before you said it, but as soon as you said Phillips fought Huck Body, I was like, I saw that fight because I remember seeing Huck Body win that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't connect the dots at first. Like, when we first got the tryouts, I didn't realize that he was Aaron Phillips.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And then I like connected the dots later. But
yeah. What an interesting storyline too. He learned from YouTube and everything. It was kind of crazy.
I mean, I don't know how much of that is totally true, but definitely most of it. You know what I mean? Like, he did wrestle in college at a junior college, and he did go to like I think like a boxing gym for a while. But dude, he is like up there. Like, he showed me where he's from, and like they're on the it's the Arctic, right? The Arctic Ocean is above us.
Yeah.
He's like legitimately like 100 miles from the Arctic Ocean.
Yeah.
I shit you not. And like he
I
drives
believe it. Like the clips they were showing, it looked like they hadn't seen like green in a long time. But
he drives a snowmobile to work. He works at the airport every day, and he drives a snowmobile to work.
Wow. That's
but
great.
You guys got to hook him up, man. He's moving to Houston, right by like Derek Lewis and who's the guy that just fought? God damn it, he just got knocked out at 85 against. I think he fought not Whitaker. Big tall dude. He knocked out Jacare with that back fist on the ground.
Oh, Holland,
Kevin Holland. I think he's moving down right by them.
Oh, cool. Good for him. Yeah.
Hopefully he can get hooked up with those guys.
Yeah. I feel like we always see that a lot with like, especially fighters from Alaska, especially guys on the Ultimate Fighter too. I think of like Terrence McKinney, kind of similar story too. Like they just weren't having the competition up there. Then once the show's over, they kind of decide to relocate.
Yeah. I think that the opportunities are kind of limited up there.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, he's got to ride a snowmobile to work every day.
Sure.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude, though. He actually was like a really cool dude. We became cool after last night.
Yeah. Was that like weird too? Like, I know we already talked about living house opponents, but like, you know, you just beat a guy, then you're kind of like talking to him that night. Like, was that strange? Like at first?
I think it's like, for me, like I'm used to it from wrestling. Like we wrestle,
true,
and it's like normal. But I think it was more weird, like leading up to the fight than it would be after. I think once the fight's over, it's like, all right, it's over. Like we can be cool.
Yeah.
Before the fight, like people are like, oh, I'm not really like this, but a lot of guys think like, oh, I'm supposed to hate you.
Yeah.
And so then like you're like, all right. But I've competed for so long, and I fought for so long, I wrestled for so long, and like it takes a lot for me to hate an opponent, honestly.